I can't believe that we are now getting into fall, if not feeling like we are in fall already. And I love it, but it does come with some doom and shorter days, less sunlight. And I know we can all feel the depression and anxiety kind of kick in, some more than others. And if you're one that certainly notices a change in your mood when the cooler months come, I totally feel you. So, how do we combat this? Obviously, we want to be around people. I think diet and nutrition play a huge role, but I also think people overlook hydration. And studies have actually shown that when you are dehydrated, specifically when you don't have enough electrolytes, anxiety, depression, you might feel irritable, lightheaded, fatigued, having headaches, panic-like symptoms. These can all be signs of just low electrolytes. Also, flu season. As we get into the fall and winter months, a lot of people can get the flu and get ill. And then when we are sick, we do lose a lot of water and a lot of electrolytes. So I always recommend Element. I use the unflavored packs. I know a lot of people do prefer the flavored versions. Again, do what works for you. I like the unflavored, which is just 3 simple ingredients. There's no stevia, there's no natural flavors in their raw version. They do have other flavors if you do need a little flavor or a little sweetness, they have that as well. And I'm always talking about it in my Instagram stories, but you can get a free sample pack. So if you haven't taken advantage of this offer, just go to drinkelement.com/digest to get this amazing offer. Again, that's DRINKLMNT.com/digest, and you can get a free 8 single-serve sample pack. Adding electrolytes is a great way to replenish and rebalance your entire body, mind, and mood. I hope you guys love them as much as I do. Today's Bite of Knowledge, we are talking all about food dyes and where you may be surprised where food dyes could be hiding. And obviously, if you're reading ingredients, then it won't be a surprise to you. But do you really check ingredients in everything? And there's a few things that may surprise you. And I don't even know why they're putting food dyes in some of this stuff. So let's get right into it. So food dyes, they're used in boxed macaroni and cheese, canned frosting, breakfast cereals. That probably will not shock you. But would you ever expect to see them in sandwich bread, salad dressing, and microwave popcorn? The truth is, color additives sneak their way into a multitude of products on grocery store shelves these days. So why are they in so many things? There's a few reasons. They can strengthen the naturally occurring colors of a food. They can enhance an otherwise colorless food. And they can help protect color loss from light or storage conditions. Natural dyes derived from vegetables such as beets, carrots, and turmeric have been used to enhance foods since the ancient times, basically. But synthetic dyes are a relatively recent product. And artificial colors are often used in processed foods because of their ability to provide rich, intense hues, at a much lower cost, obviously. And so everyone's trying to save money and make more money, including companies. While food dyes and products must be FDA approved, controversy remains over the safety of synthetic and artificial colors, especially when it comes to children. Take General Mills, who removed artificial colors from their popular cereal Trix back in 2017 after a growing concern over a link between food dyes and ADHD in children. By making the switch, get this, you guys, so they made the switch to naturally derived ingredients such as turmeric for color. Trix lost its signature neon hue, obviously. And they obviously lost more than just the neon hue. They lost a lot of their followers, fans, and consumers. However, the cereal company recently made news headlines after its decision to bring back artificial colors after fans demanded the cereal's original cosmic look. That's kind of crazy to me. Like, first they complain, so Trix, they remove it, and then they complain because the color is less intense. So then Trix puts it back in. Honestly, I kind of can't blame Trix or General Mills for doing that. I mean, I kind of feel like us as consumers, we can't have it all, you guys. That's it, you know? So you what do you want? Your health, or do you want, you know? Anyways, I digress. But concerned parents are likely to be displeased by General Mills' move, and it's kind of a reminder that not all products containing food dyes are as obvious as Trix, though. So while the FDA maintains a full list of natural and artificial food colors approved for its use in food, which I can totally provide that link in the description of this episode so you can do your own research. Again, that's the list of natural and artificial food colors approved. So I can include that link in the description of the show. The government agency just does not tell you which foods contain what. So to avoid purchasing a product with unwanted food dyes, always check the ingredient list first. Additionally, if it's possible to make certain foods from scratch, do it. Now I'm going to share 10 unexpected foods that can contain food dyes. Well, maybe unexpected. Let's see. So number 1, vanilla ice cream. Several popular brands such as Eddie's and Breyers use annatto, which is a food dye derived from the seeds of a tropical tree, to color the vanilla ice cream. While reports of symptoms such as allergic reactions and IBS exist from this food dye, the FDA regards annatto as safe, and more research is needed to confirm its actual effects. Number 2, balsamic vinegar. Not all balsamic vinegars are created equal. So in theory, pure balsamic should only contain 2 ingredients, grape must and red wine vinegar. But the real stuff can be a bit pricey. So some companies cut costs by using sugar, vinegar, and caramel color, a food dye that's generally recognized as safe by the FDA. The controversy behind caramel color lies in one type called 4-MEI, if you want to really get technical here. So this is used to color dark drinks and other stuff, like obviously sodas, right? Even salad dressings, which I'll get into later, but it's linked to potential carcinogens. So to make sure you're buying pure balsamic vinegar, look for the word traditional on the label, or you can just read the ingredients and that is pretty clear as day. Number 3, processed bread. So first of all, try and not buy processed bread. But if you are, even if you see wheat bread on the label, don't automatically assume it's healthy. Some companies add caramel color to white bread, and that contains only a very small amount of grains to give it a brown color. So they technically can still call it wheat bread because it does actually technically have wheat in it, like the whole wheat. Caramel color can also be found in store-bought rye or pumpernickel bread. This is why you should never buy anything without reading a label, you guys, and never just assume. Personally, I make my own bread, and if I do buy bread, it is a special authentic sourdough, and that's pretty much it. Equip Foods prioritizes working with regenerative farms who let their cows graze outside and sources the highest quality grass-fed beef protein they can find. And while they trust their partners completely, they still do independent, routine quality and contaminant testing to make sure their protein is free of harmful amounts of heavy metals and toxins like glyphosate. So I have been trying to get in more red meat lately. And if you suffer with digestive issues, getting in red meat can be really hard to digest. I have experienced it. And if you're going through a stressful situation or stressful time, digesting protein in general is really difficult. But the benefits of red meat are amazing. And I just don't want to not have red meat in my diet. So, all that to say, I get it. And how in the world are you to hit your target protein count without spending a fortune on quality meat and endless hours in the kitchen? It feels like just a never ending battle. So, getting enough protein just might seem impossible. But I found the solution to getting in my red meat in my diet without taxing my digestive system. I add Prime Protein's doctor formulated, incredibly easy to digest, and affordable beef isolate protein powder to my diet. Just one scoop has 20 grams of protein and is the equivalent to a 4-ounce grass-fed steak. I personally take their unflavored version, which contains just one single ingredient and no stevia, flavorings, or anything else added. It's easy on the gut and contains all 9 essential amino acids. The way Prime Protein is processed is the same way that bone broth is made, using low and slow heating to preserve the nutrition without any chemicals. The end result is the purest beef protein powder you'll ever find. They also take the extra step and do independent routine quality and contaminant testing to make sure their protein is free from harmful amounts of heavy metals and toxins like glyphosate. So if you're following a carnivore, keto, or paleo diet and you're looking for something to add to your smoothies, shakes, dips, soups, and baking, I highly recommend Prime Protein from Equip Foods. And if you go to equipfoods.com/digest and use code DIGEST, you will get 20% off. And the best part is that it comes with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't love it after 30 days, just return it for a full refund. No questions asked. Again, just go to equipfoods.com/digest and use code DIGEST for 20% off. That's equipfoods.com/digest and use code DIGEST. Microwave popcorn is another one. So popular brands out there, they use it depends on the variety because there's so many now varieties of microwave popcorn. It's ridiculous. But to give it the buttered hue, that really like buttery look, I guess you could say, it may say color added. So it just depends on how it's labeled. Simply, that just means like dye was added to the bag of popcorn. To avoid this, obviously, you can make your own popcorn. It's not only healthier, it's also way cheaper. If you do suffer from IBS or other digestive issues such as diverticulitis or have a difficult time digesting foods or corn in general, it's just best to stay away from popped corn altogether, like myself. Pickles, number 5, pickles. So this is huge. Yellow 5 and yellow number 6 are in several brands of store-bought pickles. And even though these dyes are FDA approved, which means nothing to me personally, it can be puzzling for shoppers when they see these dyes on a pickle jar. Artificial food colors are believed to have a connection to ADHD in children, according to the National Library of Medicine, which has several studies showcasing and demonstrating this. There still are some great options out there, though. So all is not lost, you guys, for all my pickle lovers. These brands and options are typically sold in the refrigerated section. Trader Joe's, Sprouts, Whole Foods, they all sell them. And I'm sure, your local health food store also does. You just have to know where to look. So, refrigerated section. Bottled salad dressings. So, get this, you guys. Some companies may use caramel color in their balsamic dressings to display a richer brown color, as mentioned earlier. Kraft Creamy French dressing contains the artificial color yellow number 6 and yellow number 5. And their Catalina dressing contains red number 40 and blue number 1. Delicious. Check the ingredients beforehand to ensure your dressing contains no food dyes, or simply just make your own. I love mixing olive oil, a touch of raw honey, and fresh lemon juice and drizzling that over some greens. You only need just a little bit to liven up a salad. Plus, you're getting heart healthy fats from the olive oil, live enzymes from the raw honey, and acid from the lemon to help digestion. So it's a winning combo. Love it. Chewing gum, number 7. All right, this may not be a surprise, right? Like chewing gum, that's, it's old news. But I mean, hate to burst your bubble. That's a good one, Bethany. Okay. Anyways, it's likely that your chewing gum does have just several different dyes in it. I won't even go into it, right? It's kind of straightforward. Food dyes just in several popular brands. I'm not even going to go into it, but yes, chewing gum, huge. But chewing gum, you guys, like honestly, it's so 90s, right? Like it's kind of gross. It's kind of tacky. Like, it's just, does anyone chew gum anymore? I don't know. Number 8, yogurt. Oh, okay, you guys. I love my yogurt and I eat it daily. Okay. My boyfriend can attest. He goes, I have a yogurt addiction here. But it's super soothing to the gut and contains tons of protein and good bacteria. So of course I only consume the plain, unflavored, pure yogurt. All right. So I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about are those sugary fruit-based yogurts. They may use artificial dyes to enhance their colors. Yoplait, their light blueberry patch yogurt, that specifically uses blue number 1 and red number 40. And now Yoplait has a Skittles yogurt. I mean, just when I was researching all this, I found the Skittles yogurt and I was like, oh my goodness, this is just what I need for this episode. But so that one contains not only red number 40, but also artificial flavor. And we're wondering, why are kids so hyped up these days? I don't know. Why are kids so hyped up these days? I don't know. Just these Skittle yogurts, apparently. I don't even know. This may come to a shock for some people. Farm-raised salmon. So I've showed this many times in my Instagram stories. And by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you are missing out on vital information and tons of visuals. So Instagram, shameless plug, little sipper. Okay, so farm-raised salmon. You should always be opting for wild salmon. The wild salmon gets their reddish pink hue from the carotenoids in underwater plants and algae. But farm-raised salmon, they get their color from a pigment that's added to their feed because they're simply not getting the healthy diet they would be getting if they were in the wild. They're not eating the natural stuff that the wild salmon are eating, right? So the farmers that are raising these fish, they have to actually put fake pigment in their food to make them at least desirable. And even then, they don't even look as dark and pink and red as the wild salmon. That's just one of the reasons why wild salmon is best. Last but certainly not least, energy bars. Guys, no matter how healthy cereal bars, granola bars, or energy bars claim to be, always check the ingredient list. I feel like a broken record saying this, but some bars from popular brands contain caramel color, or certain fruit-based bars may have synthetic dyes such as red number 40 or blue number 1. Stick to bars with short ingredient lists and minimal sugar, or simply make your own. I have tons of recipes on my blog for you to make your own, such as my cookies and cream protein bar or my white chocolate raspberry protein bar. Those are so good, both of them. You can just Google Little Sipper protein bar to find more delicious, healthy recipes. All right, now we could go on blaming X, Y, and Z company for including dyes in their products. But when it comes down to it, you guys, we should be pointing the finger at ourselves for not looking at labels. The information's out there and the ingredients are listed. It's up to us to choose the right foods to feed ourselves and our families. I say this time and time again, be your own advocate. Thanks for listening to this episode of Digest This. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review in your podcast app to let us know. If you're ever wondering how you can support me and this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family is the best way. This is a Resonant Media production produced by Drake Peterson and edited by Mike Fry. To email the show, message us at digestthispod@gmail.com. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team first.